Hi, and welcome to the 64 Doors. Today we're going to open door 11. Here we find an archetype that is all about creative imagination, ideals, and harmony. We're going to explore this archetype from a human design perspective and a gene key perspective. Here we have the Ray of Mandala, and we have the sun right now in Sagittarius in gate 11. We have the earth in Gemini in gate 12. And the design part of the cross is the 36 in Pisces and the 6 in Virgo. And the sun is going to stay in this gate for 5.7 days because we have the whole wheel is 365 days, it's 360 degrees, which makes the calculation each gate is 5.7 days. And if you're born during these days, you're going to have one of three crosses. So the first one is the cross of Eden, and it says, we come into the world from the ethereal world that has a lightness and a lack of density. And then you can read the rest by yourself. Then we have the cross of ideas. You are apt to be driven to express your ideas. And then the cross of education. You have a cross of education and the energy that supports the value of education. So you can read about the whole cross here. You could make your gene key profile where you have a paragraph about each one of the gates. You can also, of course, learn about each one of the gates. And you're going to see here in all of them, we have the 11 and the 12 on the personality side, but the design side is shifting because it's a 88-degree cross, not a 90-degree cross. So it's different to have the 6 and the 36, which are very emotional. Turbulence and conflict, but also like that finding peace in the world, which is the cross of Eden. But then we have the 46 and the 25, the cross of ideas. But these ideas are going to be from the G center because we have both the 46 and the 25 in the G center, the universal love and the love of being here in physical form. And it's going to be different if it is the juxtaposition cross, the 4-1 cross, or if it's the left angle cross that is even more transpersonal. Whereas this cross is more fixed on that 11 actually, because it is if you're a 4-1, it's really the personality sun or the life's work that is very kind of fixed in your direction. And that's what you're here to explore and to express. So if we go back to the body graph and we look at it in the standard view, you're going to see that you have the 11 pointing down from the ajna to the 56 in the throat center. And this is the archetype that we call the comedian. So it's a good week to go back to the comedian. So 6 months back in time. No, it's actually not 6 months back in time. I don't actually know how far it is in time. But was 6 months back in time is the 12. It's the programming partner. So it's on the other side of the wheel. The harmonic gate can be anywhere in the wheel, but I remember it being in the summer, I think. So in the circuitry book, we have the channel of curiosity, a design of a seeker. And this is the sensing circuit, and it's a projected channel. It says you are a pure seeker, which means that you're never supposed to achieve any final goal. When you let go of the idea of attainment altogether, you can rest and find peace in the journey itself. This is powerful. So like I said before, here we have keywords like imagination, ideals, and harmony. The internal motivator is I believe I can change the world for the better, or we can change the world for the better. And the Achilles heel is that this gate doesn't have a final answer because there's always new ideas and always new developments to kind of make the world a better place. It has visual memory. It has an acceptance of death. So here we have that whole thing about duality, especially when we go into the gene keys, we're going to see more that it has this courage to like go into the underworld and learn what it needs to learn and come back with an upgraded ideal in a way of what's possible. And it's the left eye in the biology. So that's quite interesting too. The left eye that is connected to the right brain, I guess. So that we have this creative thinking. And maybe today we'll go into, actually we go into the 7 years on the wheel before we go into the gene keys, because this is what Richard Rudd did before he did the gene keys. They were probably already in there, but this was when he was still in the human design community. He wrote this book, 7 Years on the Wheel, where he's starting in gate 3, the eternal child, and he goes all the way around the wheel to gate 42, which is beginnings and endings, right? And he's speaking about the journey of 7 years, so 40 days in each gate, starting gate 3, gate 24, 27, like all the way around the wheel, and 40 days to kind of purify and decondition and let go of everything that isn't us. I even think I can show you somewhere here. We have the, so here is the actual wheel. So you start in gate 3 and gate 20. I said them the other way around. So gate 3, gate 27, gate 24, all the way around till you come back to gate 42. And you have the disintegration, the education, the alignment, the initiation, the quickening, the awakening, and the integration. So this is super interesting. 7 years, 7 stages. And this is something that, yeah, for the whole process of deconditioning, it's 7 years, but the sun is actually going through the gates every year. So what we are going to do this year with the group is to just follow the sun. So it's going to be 1 year starting in 3, going around, and see, can we still feel those phases, because everything is cycles in within cycles. So even in a year, I'm sure we're going to be able to feel it when we're in tune with the sun and the earth. And being in tune with the sun and the earth means that when we are in the 3 with the sun, the earth is going to be in the 50s, right? So we're always going to also feel this kind of opposition, which is the duality of being human, which is so much the 11. So let me scroll back down to it so that we can actually see what Richard says, because it is powerful. And you can also go to last week's video where we speak about the 11 together with 26 a little bit. So let's see. The 11th gate, the coming out of the light. The 26 always precedes the 11. Think about this. The 11 is the gate of light and idealism. It is part of the cross of Eden. It is the gate of magic, of white magic. Mythologically, the 11th represents the advent of Christ. In the wheel, it's the week preceding Christmas with the birth of Christ, symbolized by the winter solstice, with the sun in the 10th gate. There is also a tradition that the Christ returns invisibly. I shall come like the thief in the night, which is an allusion again to the light returning as the sun moves through the winter solstice. In our deconditioning sequence, this can be a time of great illumination when our inner light begins to shine. It is the chance for us to resolve our childhood patterns, Eden, and reclaim our true selves. So if you have done the Venus sequence, you know the Eden loop between Mars and Venus on the personality side, which is EQ and IQ. So you can see how it's already in here, although the Venus sequence didn't exist yet. Most human beings hold deep unresolved dreams and ideals from childhood, and out of fear and conditioning, they compromise and their dreams escape them. This stage of the sequence can release our true idealism back into the world, and in a grounded way. We may dare to dream that we can follow our dreams once again. This is super, super powerful. So let's go into the gene keys. And here the gene keys they never say, oh, this gate is good or this gate is bad. This gene is good or this gene is bad. It really looks at the frequency band. So you have 3 words, you have red on the bottom. That's the contracted frequency of fear and attachment. And then you have the green word, which is the pathway. It's the heart-centered way, the human way. That's like where we have the positive attitude of life, the trusting attitude, I would say, more than the positive. And then we're staying in that middle way of the gift, the green word. And then we might even get a spark of the blue word, which is the creator frequency, the acidic frequency. So here we have obscurity, idealism, and light. So we really see, you're going to see in the art also for this door that we have black and white in the art. But really the golden beautiful way is like, you're going to see in the art too, that we have this like spiral that is going in the black and the white. And it's not actually this border. It's all like life is contrast. And that's also because it is the cross of Eden, it's like, how can you find your slice of Eden, of paradise, by playing with those contrasts in your life? And you can see again, we have here the programming partner. Like I said, 6 months ago, we were on the other side of the wheel in the 12, and now we're going around, and we are in the 11s. They are programming each other. They are mirror opposites. If you look at the lines as well, wherever the 11th hexagram has a full line, you're going to see that the 12 has a broken line. So that's also just the geometry in the I Ching. So we see obscurity and vanity go together, idealism and discrimination, purity and light. We also know that 12 is the stop codon, and this is one of the 3 trials. We have the 12, the 33, and the 56. So what's coming in as well this week is that it's kind of that trial. And in that trial, you would say that you are going to encounter all this, like the different frequencies in the frequency band of the 11, because you are breaking through that vanity, you are purifying. You need to start to discriminate. Here we have the victim of false beliefs, the fantasizing or being deluded. So that's something you can read about also more deeply in the 64 doors. We have here we have the astrology, still Sagittarius. I basically think this is the last gate. So seeker, philosopher, vision quester, explorer. And even here you see the frequency band, fundamentalism. Yeah, that makes sense for the 11 as well, exploration and faith. And it's service to spirit through the intuitive pursuit of truth. And the codon ring piece is earth over heaven. So this is a very powerful, I'm also going to include my own interpretation, because I have earth in my life's work, earth over earth, second gene key, and heaven is first gene key. It's like first gene key is heaven over heaven. So this is my life's work and my evolution that are making up the 11, which is my Neptune twice, both personality and design. So this is a powerful one for me, and I really resonate when we bring it up, you know, the neon mystica of heaven and earth. You know, this is the sacred union or the mystical union that I always speak about. It's about anchoring the light within the body to see the world as it truly is. And this has truly been my journey, like to even want to even trust enough to anchor in the body has been huge for me. Having so many 6 line, having so much attunement to spirit, to actually trust the body. And I also have the 46 in my EQ, which is also you kind of have to be grounded emotionally in order to trust the bliss and ecstasy of that gene key. And here you can see the low frequency where we have, this is the 11, this is the second gene key, this is the first gene key. So shadow frequency, obscurity is the dislocation of entropy. So it's like you're feeling lost in depression. That's really not a good place to be. And I've been there. I was there for about a year, and I feel tucked to the floor by something obscure that I couldn't even know what it was. And then the pathways, idealism is orienting freshness. So always orienting, believing that inner GPS that is telling you, you know, and it's part of that internal motivator. I believe in change for the better. That's for me the 11. And then the highest frequency, light, is the unity of beauty. And that kind of makes me want to cry. So, and it's all about receiving the creation inside of ourselves. This is so beautiful. And the title is peace, you know, but peace is so alive. That's what I feel when we look at the 11, like peace is so alive. And what more? Integral human design. So we already looked at this, the channel of curiosity. Here's actually called entertainment. And that's funny because we do have the magician. No, we do have the comedian here in the 56, and now the idealist. So that becomes a good play for me. If you have the idealist kind of setting up, giving the ideas to the comedian so he can play it out. And you're going to see also in the interpretation of this, on this archetype, that we have the 56 kind of working together with the 11, which they are always going to do, because they are always looking for the other. They are harmonic gates. And what's beautiful with the integral human design is that we have the frequency band even in the combination of gates. So when we have the 56, we have distraction as the lower frequency. So distraction, obscurity is aimlessness. You can do whatever, but you're not going to get anywhere with it. And then we have the higher frequencies of idealism and enrichment, which is entertainment. Idealism and enrichment, entertainment. Yeah, I can see that. True entertainment, not just like something that is making time pass, but actually truly entertainment. What we would like it to be, which I think sometimes it's been like watered out, right? And then the highest frequency, we have intoxication and light, and that's magic, right? This is power. This is really powerful. So, this is also a good exercise, because like you saw, you kind of have to think, oh my God, what is the 56 now again? But this is really, really a cool weave. It's like kind of complex, but it makes sense. If you break it down to the shadow frequency of both, gift frequency of both, and acidic frequency of both, this makes a lot of sense. And the dream arc is car, polar bear, and pheasant. I don't know how you say that. I think you say it like that. I seem to have a problem with pronunciation today. And the mudra of peace. And you can get the whole library, and then it's actually a short video to watch. And actually, we might already be in. So Jane Addams, is it Gene Keys Diaries? Yes. So she's actually doing exactly like we do in the 64 keys. Every week she's doing the whole transit, like with the mudra and the animals and all that. So so beautiful. So I'm just gonna, and yeah. So I think it's peasant, isn't it? And so the art is like also telling us so much about what is this about. So yeah, I'm just scrolling so you can see it. Here you have light and dark. It's similar to the art that we're using. Even more polar bears. Here we have the three animals. And here we have, well, the tree of life. This is also beautiful. So that it's really, really rich. It's something that we even include some of the art on the bottom of our transits. So yeah. So what is this week about? If it's on the cusp of light and darkness, or is it to navigate the underworld or the worldly with the spirit realms or the beyond human realms? Like, is it to look at this kind of frequency band from obscurity to light and see like where are you in the middle, and how can you navigate? For me, I would say I do see the 11 a little bit like dark feminine, because we have this right brain, this creativity, but also there is this courage to look, to face the dark, and to know that at the end of the day, everything is just a symbol. Like that's what the 11 says. She can be in the middle of a nightmare, or she can be in the middle of the hellish realms. And I feel like what she does is to kind of, it's to see it as a symbol, and to actually go inwards, to go to her heart and to find the meaning. It's not a reaction, it's actually a sitting in the darkness, letting kind of that penetrate her, and then that automatically brings her up. That's what we know from the Gene Keys, that in the shadow lies the gift. So she's not running away from the wound. So I would also say that this is a really good transit and a really good Gene Key to work with your core wound, because the 11 is not going to run away. She's going to use her creative, imaginative force in a way to even go there, because she's curious. She's really, really curious. And then she's going to be able to stay until the transmutation has happened. And what I wrote that is going to be in the door is about the 28 and the 11 together, and how we have the Scorpio energy of the 28 that kind of takes the risks and goes into these deep waters and is not afraid to sting, is not afraid to die, because it knows that there is a rebirth. And then we have this kind of curiosity and all these ideas from the 11. And she also says, I'm not afraid. So these two together, like the daredevil together with this idealist, which is a funny name because we maybe should have called her the dark feminine or something like that. But she's very idealistic because she kind of does it because she knows it's for the bettering of herself and of the world. And she's also a little bit like the sixth Jinky, which is the peacemaker. She has that kind of collective vision of like bringing together people for the betterment of humanity. It's very idealistic. That's what I feel why she never gives up. And it's also why she can never rest. Because basically we're always evolving. So the ideals are always evolving as well. So maybe it's a little bit intangible what I'm saying this week, but I would love you to kind of go on that journey of archetypes, of symbolism, of even facing the ugly and see what happens if you don't run away. What happens if you just look at it and be like, okay, this is a symbol. This is interesting. What can I learn from you? You're ugly, but what can I learn from you? That's what I would love you to do this week, because we are in these last weeks of the year, and we're in the 10, then we're in the 58. Like, this is the time to let things, to look at things, let them come up, let them show themselves, and let them either die or kind of get a new spark to live another cycle around the wheel. So I wish you all a powerful week in the 11, and also I would love comments on the doors, and we are almost all the way through the wheel, so we would love your input as well. Thank you so much.